ad right now, but it says, catch It's Philgoth right after this ad break.
What if I don't want it?
Oh, snap. Then your life won't be enriched.
Oh, that's true. Damn. Well, maybe we can still read him.
Well, if he's still on at the end.
Yeah, that's true. It's a stream. I sees it.
I sees it as well. Wait, no, I'm getting your VOD. Like your VOD started playing. There it goes. Now it's live. And by the way, we're not muted on the start screen.
How are you not muted?
You can't stop me.
Christ on a bike. I'm gonna kick your ass.
April, clip that.
You can't stop. Jesus Christ, that was well delivered.
Can't stop me now, 'cause I'm a living in a real time. I'll make a supersonic man out of you.
Did you see the automatic Mario for that song?
No.
I posted.
I'll have to. Oh, no, wait. I might have.
I showed June, and then June posted it in the Discord, I think.
Yeah, I think I did too. Live from my bedroom, it's Gloom and June. Yay, woo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all the way down in my living room.
Oh, April, if you're there before the stream starts, you don't get the clip tool.
Lame.
Alright, we are done. I posted the announcement
Yep,
everywhere.
we're done. That's it. Have a good stream, everybody. Let's do a raid.
No, I posted the announcement everywhere, so we're good to go. Let's turn off the music and welcome everybody to Gloomwave for October. We got a big show coming up. So let's hop over here.
Rockin', roll, man.
Yeah, I figured I might as well do something for the election since we're talking about the election today. Okay, here's the big question on everybody's mind. Do we really think Biden is going to win?
No. To be honest.
I think
you can't trust the polls.
I think
I hope he does, but do I think he will?
I don't think it's a sure thing, but I'm not convinced either way. I think it's pretty even odds at this point.
I think the only good sign that I'm seeing personally is I'm seeing a lot of Trump ads on YouTube that are, I think, desperate. There's one, it was like, stop the zombie apocalypse, and it's like literally saying that, like, and it's got like these, like, it's almost like a campaign ad deep fried. And it's saying that Biden is a zombie and we have to stop a zombie from getting into the White House, but it's like got all this horror imagery in it, and it's,
oh my God.
It's like an Adult Swim bumper.
Amazing.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you.
Excellent.
Too, so that you can see it, because I wanted to bring this up. I haven't mentioned anything about it because I wanted to bring it up here. It's so, and not only that. Okay, I'm giving you the whole thing. It's 16 seconds long, but Trump put up like an hour-long version that's just the same 16-second ad rolling over and over and over again. You look at the comments and it's all these Pepe memes about, ooh, President Meme Lord. Yeah. Check it out. Jesus. I just posted it in the general Chatismo.
All right, I'm gonna check this out as well.
Okay, I did need, just so I'm clear, everybody is picking up John and Kitty, right? Because the Discord...
You can't pick me up, I'm too heavy.
Okay, because I don't understand Streamlabs sometimes. Sometimes, okay, we're good. Because I just realized that the Discord thing is muted. But you're coming through my desktop audio, which when I first started this, it didn't work that way, and now it magically changed its mind. I don't understand Streamlabs sometimes.
When I have had people join me on voice chat during streams, which is not often, but I've done it occasionally, I've never set up a separate, like a Discord thing like that.
I had to when we first started this, but now it seems to be working through desktop
No.
audio, and I don't get it.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's how
That
it
is so
always was for
fucking
me as well.
strange.
Maybe there was some setting that was like wrong, and then an update happened or something. But anyway, go check out the zombie thing.
All right, I'm gonna check it out.
Okay, I gotta see what this is.
It's so bizarre.
Okay, just so everybody can watch, I'm gonna post it in the chat as well.
Look for someone who has a corpse-like
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I should have done that.
aggressive behavior, craves human flesh, and utters incoherent moans and groans. With your help, we can prevent the
And there was an hour-long loop of just that ad playing over and over again.
God.
And I'm like
what the
thinking, like,
fuck?
how fucking desperate is that? So to me, that's a sign of desperation. Doing weird meme ads like that.
Who come up with this? I mean, first of all, first of all, if you really want to talk about zombie politicians, has anyone looked at Mitch McConnell lately? There's something wrong with that dude. He's starting to fall apart.
Well, we didn't ban the straws soon enough.
Hey, Riddle.
Oh my God.
You all right?
Okay. Okay.
Do you need
I'm
a
good.
blanket?
Are you okay?
Uncle. Oh my Jesus.
Okay, I was just sent a really disturbing image, well, a funny image, but from Hitomi, and this is relevant to you guys. It's relevant to most people watching this too, because apparently the man with the fake name has a Discord server now,
Oh no. Oh no.
and let me post this. I gotta save the image because it's coming through Skype, but
Okay, so for the sake of YouTube, any of my YouTube video watchers, all two of them, could you please explain who the fake name is?
he's he worked for Kazarth Studios. He was like kind of crypto fash and then went full fash, and he got kicked out of our community. But apparently he has a Discord channel, and Hitomi just so Payton posted a screenshot of that Discord channel, and then Hitomi posted a screenshot of his post from Facebook. And he's got Zach and Alex Shannon in there as well, and I'm assuming Silly Snake is probably in there. He's not sure, but it seems like he's picking up our dregs, our detritus that we've left behind. I've just posted it on the Discord.
Oh, let's see what this is. Okay,
know, right?
this needs a live reading.
Okay, wait. Who's gonna play who?
Okay, I can play fake name.
Wait, no. Maybe I should do it because I could do his voice.
Okay, so I can do that. then.
I sent Hitomi to the stream, so like, by the way, because Hitomi sent me that, I'm like, by the way, we're now making fun of that. Okay, wait, let me get it up. So you be Zach, because you could do his voice, because you've seen Zach on YouTube.
I don't really
Yeah.
remember his voice.
It doesn't matter. Just have a lisp. And then Kitty, Alex
Gallon.
just is generic. Gallandun is just generic asshole.
Okay.
At least we didn't portray each other. I chose you guys over them.
Truth above all, loyalty above all else. That's my philosophy.
And we'll be friends forever, no matter what.
Amen to that.
Ice cream truck. Oh wait, my taint is stuck to my couch, you guys. I knew I shouldn't have watched anime while I was sitting on this couch.
Oh.
I had two monitors. One was anime and the other was Maple Story. I have a pink Maple Story gamer chair, but I make fun of gay people.
God, I hate Peyton so much.
That's okay. You don't hate him as much as he hates himself.
I can certainly try.
Well, it's something to aspire to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm going to vote for Trump because I hate brown people. He really sounds like that too. I don't know
That
if you've
shouldn't
ever
be
heard his
funny,
voice.
but the way you voice Peyton, it just blows my mind.
This is just my voice. I didn't choose it.
Okay.
I swear he tries to deepen his voice too.
Yeah, because I have heard his voice when he's not deepening it, and
Yeah, it's weird.
it's weird. I mean, the man is a ball of insecurities, which is most Trump supporters, as far as I can tell.
But enough about my balls, am I right?
Okay, so now you said something earlier about how you can't trust the polls, and that just
Yeah.
made me think about the 2016 election, where somebody polls were saying that.
But enough about CD Project Red.
Stop.
Well, no,
You're killing me.
Kitty's typing, so I figure we're just riffing here, right?
No, I'm just.
Yeah. Logan Paul and that old Jake
Oh,
Paul.
don't
You
worry,
can't
we trust
them.
you. You're fine. But no, I was talking. You can't trust opinion polls or anything like that. Like I got to thinking of 2016 with the polls. They were all saying, Hillary Clinton had a 95% chance of winning, and I'm just thinking, yeah, but a 95% chance of hitting something in XCOM isn't 95%.
Yeah, so I like you don't trust percentages in XCOM or Pokemon. You shouldn't trust opinion polls. So the only thing that gives me any hope that Trump is going to lose is the increasing desperation of his attack ads.
So here's a question for you both. What if him losing doesn't matter and everything just goes to shit? Like he sort of there's been hints in the air of him threatening to just not cede power.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to cede power because once Inauguration Day happens, whether or not there's an inauguration, the next president becomes the president and becomes the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, which will run Trump out of the White House if necessary.
Yeah, no, I don't know how true this is, but I've heard that the army isn't exactly the biggest fan of Trump. So
No, he makes fun of them. He thinks that they're
he
losers
treats them
and
quite
suckers,
badly.
and I mean, look at the way he treated John McCain.
yeah, and remember that when he refused to go to the cemetery in France because he doesn't like.
It was raining. Well, if I get my hair wet, I won't look strong in front of Putin. Vlad, you like my hair, right? Nah.
Yeah, the thing that Trump doesn't seem to understand is say what you will about the military and military culture, but no, these people look out for each other for the most part. No, there's a lot of there's a lot of they instill a lot of loyalty into people. So if you insult dead veteran, they're not going to be happy with that.
No.
I like April's idea, though. Kim, me and America broke up. Could I stay at your house?
Oh my God! What if he does
just
flee
Russia.
to North Korea?
Just on the couch for a few days until I get back on my feet.
Actually, I don't think he's flew to North Korea. He'd move to Russia.
Yeah,
He'd probably just take his stupid ass back to Florida and do his lame Twitter posts for the rest of time.
Yeah, Russia, Brazil, pick your favorite dictator.
Paul brings up a good point. Imagine being because the former presidents get Secret Service details for the rest of their lives. Imagine being the asshole that gets that job, watching after Trump.
Oh my God!
As he's sitting there on his couch tweeting.
Yeah, and chugging Diet Coke. That's literally all he does. Sits, watches Fox News, tweets, and chugs Diet Coke, and he's just I'm just waiting for his. I'm just waiting for his evil black heart to just give out. I mean, the guy's almost 80 for crying out loud. Why isn't he dead yet?
What is he?
I can say the same thing about.
He's 73, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? Because he
think
was
he's
around mom's age, and I think he'd be about
I'm
73
gonna look
now.
it up. I'm gonna look it up
Yeah, me too.
so we'll know for sure.
Yeah,
He
74.
is 74. Okay, I was almost there.
Yeah, so he's about a year older than mom.
So yeah, only the good die young, right? I mean, that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah, that's why we still have Mitch McConnell.
No, but like, yeah, like Trump not ceding power. It's just like it's a stupid fantasy that his fans have. Like, he talks about he'll negotiate for a third term. You know, like,
Oh my
okay, good
God.
luck with that, asshole. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean, there's no getting a third term because we made sure that after FDR.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like FDR was like that bad of a president. It's just that they were like, hey, he didn't do the thing. He didn't do the thing that every other president did.
Yeah. Yeah, he kept trying. He used the war as an excuse to run again.
Yeah, I
And
mean, yeah.
it won. He won.
Yeah. I mean, 4 terms. I mean, he didn't finish his fourth term, but that's only because he died of polio. I mean,
I mean, Canada doesn't even have term limits. I don't think they're necessarily. Term limits are only a problem when you have problem presidents.
you
We have had a
usually,
lot of problem presidents.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, we get problem presidents when you don't have term limits too. I mean,
The way I look at it is, I like to think of it in terms of the way the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy once put it. Anybody who is capable of getting themselves elected president should by no means be permitted to do the job.
it's
yeah.
true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I tend to think that Trump is probably going to win the election, and maybe I'm just trying to set myself up for a pleasant surprise. But going back to what was said, and I think it was Kitty who asked the question, and neither of us really answered it, is also what happens if Biden wins and everything just continues to be shitty? Well, yeah, at least we
I mean,
tried. At least it's not our fault then.
the way I look
You
at it
know?
is, if Biden wins, some of the rolling damage will come to an end. I mean, no, we'll probably get back into the Paris
The past.
Agreement or whatever.
Oh well, he said, yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like Biden is not the most progressive guy out there.
No, no,
He's
he's a
basically
Republican.
he's a Republican, and Trump is a Nazi. That's basically the choice we have. I mean, even Epic Rap Battles of History said he's not a communist, he's not a socialist. He's got a DA as his VP.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even close to being progressive in any way, shape, or form. But he does at least care about certain key issues like the environment,
Yeah, so
which
I ultimately, for me, a vote for Biden is a vote for harm reduction because really our choices here are between a racist rapist with brainworms versus a racist rapist with brainworm. But I'm going to pick for the I'm going to pick the racist rapist with brainworms who actually gives a little bit of a shit about the environment.
Well, gives a shit about his image, about his and his party's image.
well, that's the Democratic Party in a nutshell, isn't it? They're not super useful. Let's be
No,
real.
no,
And-
they're the miniature schnauzer of politics.
but I mean,
But-
like
but they-
basically, either way, you're getting a tumor.
Yeah.
One is malignant and the other is benign.
One can be bullied into doing at least sometimes.
Yeah, and no, the way people treat politics like it's around a team fortress, it just blows my mind. It's like, no, it's like, yeah, I actually got just so many liberals and centrists out there, but they're the same thing, who are acting like this is some sort of, there's some sort of massive difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. Okay, you could say that the Republicans are right wing, but that doesn't make the Democrats left wing.
I mean, and it's interesting. I was thinking about Biden basically being a Republican, like a more classic version of a Republican.
Yeah,
I
he's an
remember-
80s Republican.
Well, I was thinking more like the 70s, but that's accurate too. And I was thinking like an interview that Howard Stern had with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is a pretty, I wouldn't say leftist, but he's sort of a liberal, But he ran and served as governor of California as a Republican. And it's interesting because I think Schwarzenegger also had this archaic idea of what a Republican is. And Howard Stern had this interview with him, and he said that, like, why did other Republicans fight you so much on the environment? You're pro-environment, and they're not. And to me, like, I think back to, like, where conservationism and where the green stuff started with, like, Richard Nixon. It was always the Republican thing to try to protect the environment, and then somewhere along the way, Reagan, it all got fucked up.
Yeah.
Reagan, sorry.
Because it became more profitable to pay more attention to corporations and care about the
Reagan.
environment.
Oh, this weird cough. Sounds like I'm saying Reagan every time I cough. It's weird.
If you're an actor running for office, you got to do it as a Republican. That's like the law.
It's true. I was going to be a Democrat, and they said, hey, we don't like your movies. But, the Republicans, they're like, yeah, you like the big guns, and they don't realize it's just a fucking role I played.
Oh, my God. Okay. Okay, here's a little piece of news. CD Projekt announced that Cyberpunk has been delayed till December, and this is actually after they've been having problems with crunch.
Yeah, they couldn't crunch hard enough.
Yeah, and now they're going. And I remember thinking, well, surely by delaying it, they're going to ease the crunch on their employees, right? No, that's never going to happen.
No, it's going to get worse. What do you think? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I was looking at the comments on a Rock Paper Shotgun Facebook post about it, and oh my God, there are so many sad nerds who are desperately lying to themselves about how this is supposed to make things easier for their employees, and it's like, motherfuckers, do you even realize how capitalism works? No, of course not, you're gamers.
The only way that you could eliminate things like crunch is to sort of like do it like Bethesda does it. Is don't show the game until it's 95% complete.
And also don't fucking announce a release date, and don't try to push things out before a certain holiday or whatever.
Yeah, when Bethesda released a trailer and a release date for Skyrim, the game was pretty much done. And they said that's why you didn't see anything. Everybody had this idea of what Elder Scrolls V might be, and a lot of people kind of had figured out that it was going to be Skyrim, but they said we don't like to show anything until we have like almost a whole game to show. And I think that, I mean, like you never hear about Bethesda employees being under pressure. I mean, if anything, maybe they could use a little pressure, they'd find more bugs.
Yeah. But I think they looked at what happened to 3D Realms and said to themselves, no, we don't want to do that. Because 3D Realms put out a trailer every so often. And these trailers were actually really awesome looking, and the game looked like nothing like it.
We were talking about Duke Nukem Forever, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, because you didn't mention it, but I somehow knew.
Yeah.
So here's what would really get rid of crunch. Are you ready? Fucking unionize that industry. I mean, unionize every single industry, but especially that one. People working in the games industry
police,
have
though. End police unions.
Fucking rough.
Yeah, don't end the police union. We don't need unions for those guys.
We don't need police, so we don't need unions for something that we don't need.
I mean, isn't it like basically the only major entertainment industry that isn't unionized at this point?
I think so.
That might be right. Although
the television is, the writers have a union, artists have unions.
Comic books do not have unions.
Okay, I guess musicians don't, but they don't need them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny though to think about it. Comic books and video games are both like really heavily nerd centric. Industry. The kind of people who read comics, the kind of people who play video games, they're nerds, they're geeks, but there's no union. And I've been, excuse me. I've been thinking for a while about how, pro-capitalism geek culture is, and I think that really plays into, the fact that the two industries that most cater to geek culture, comic books and video games, are not only non-union, there's no union, they're anti-union, and a lot of geeks are like very pro-capitalism and they don't give a shit about the people creating the stuff that the people consume.
So, and you used an interesting word there, and this may be a distinction without a difference, but are comic book people and video game people pro-capitalism, or are they just pro-consumption? Where you have like, oh, if we don't get this out, we're gonna lose people. Like they're afraid of delaying anything. They're afraid that they're going to lose their audience at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, and I can see why, because comic book fans are some of the worst fucking people I've ever met. Holy shit. It's like, these guys will scream their heads off over a female character getting her own book.
Oh,
It's true, yeah.
yeah. And video games have the problem of being.
Hold on.
Hey, Hitomi, I can't help you this week. My cat needs new tires.
Get woke, go broke. That's the usual motto. I'm just like,
Yeah.
And the problem with the video game industry too is that the costs of AAA games have ballooned so high that the industry is risk averse. So
Well,
can't delay it, can't do anything.
The MSRP hasn't gone up since the early 90s.
Yeah, and
That's why we get things like DLC and episodic content and things, and then they complain about it. They say, like, well, remember when you got a game that was like a full game? You say, yeah, I'm sorry, when you got Final Fantasy IV, it didn't take 10 years and thousands of people to make.
yeah.
yeah. A lot of times with DLC, first of all, it always blew my mind the way people complain about DLC, even all the way back in like 2005 or whatever when Oblivion came out. I just got to thinking, haven't you motherfuckers ever bought an expansion pack? It's the same concept,
okay.
you just download it now.
Okay, in defense of the people who hated on DLC for Oblivion specifically, horse armor was really fucking stupid. It was expensive, and it didn't actually do anything. It was a cosmetic upgrade for your horse in a game that's single player.
Yeah,
Okay, that's not a good example.
Yeah, let's not let the whole corporations off the hook. They've been playing this bad as well.
The problem I have with that argument is that people would call any kind of DLC, including like the really expansive, story content, they would call it horse armor. I'm just like, that's not what horse armor is, you dipshits.
Well, no, that's just like if somebody doesn't like a game, they call it shovelware. They're just misusing the term.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and to be fair, okay, I'm gonna make a defense of horse armor here. I think horse armor, and I'm using the term generically. I'm not referring to a specific horse armor in Oblivion. I think if you want to cuss it, people like to have a little bit of control over, the things that they have in their games, especially a game where you can create your own character. It feels like with horse armor or a cosmetic DLC or whatever, it feels like you have a little more control over what your character looks like, and a lot of people like that. I know I do, which is why I sometimes do buy the horse armor.
Okay, wait. But the game companies know that you like that and know that that's important to you, and they are preying on that, though.
Yeah, like see, there's certain things that we're not talking about like anything story based like that. Why weren't those things in the game to begin with? Like, if you want your AK-47 and Fallout 76 to be pink, how come you have to pay $5 for it to be pink?
Because they know you will pay the $5 because they know that people want to look a certain way. So, I agree with you. I agree with you that representing yourself a certain way in a game like that is important.
There's good and bad examples of DLC.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the horse armor the original horse armor was $10.
Okay, here's the problem with that price tag.
No purpose.
Here's the problem with that price tag. $10 is way too much for something cosmetic. Yeah. I would pay $2 for a pink AK-47.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah,
that's pretty reasonable.
I mean, And I think that like because it's almost like the bad apple analogy, because we've gotten horse armor or pieces of Arkham City being carved out of it and then resold as DLC. We've had bad examples of DLC. So then something like Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath comes out and you get, like Chuddy Time Gaming over there saying, "Oh, I don't want to pay $30 for 3 characters," and I'm like, "You're getting a 2.5 hour story expansion,
Yeah.
and you're complaining that it's only adding 3 characters."
Great.
Like
Okay,
they basically
here's asked a
doubled
good
the
question.
length of the game.
He's asked a good question. What do we think about games with cosmetics that are the only prize? I kind of like that idea because usually when that happens, that's usually we're talking like an indie game with no cosmetics. I usually like, if you like the game, give us a little money and we'll give you something for it.
I mean, Fortnite though. Fortnite is the prime example of what Fish is talking about, and that
Yeah.
ain't an indie game anymore.
Well, what about going further back to what happened to Team Fortress 2
Oof.
with the hats?
I only vaguely know about that. I know a whole economy sprung up around it.
Yeah. And I think that, like, yeah, when you teach people, like, okay, like, you want this hat. Like, well, why do I want it? Because you want it. We've created an industry where they're telling us what we want instead of the other way around.
And it works
Yeah.
because they do end up making money off of all that shit. So
It's true because, like, I mean,
It works on me.
basically,
I don't even want to think about how much I spent on the Atom Shop and Fallout 76.
I would have sent Hitomi money, but I spent $3,000 in Genshin Impact to see some pantsu.
and loot boxes make it so much worse because it's one thing if you can go into a shop and say, I want this pink AK-47, and it's an entirely another thing to pay 99 cents per loot box, as a dumb example, where you have a 0.01 chance of getting the pink AK skin.
And here's the thing, like, the gacha mechanics are fine for mobile games, but let's not let that bleed into AAA titles.
I agree completely.
That's so the way that the Fortnite and Fallout 76 shops have deals that are time limited is a little bit predatory because it plays on FOMO. It makes you see something and your brain goes, "Oh, that's only available for a limited time," or "It's cheaper for a limited time." It increases the chance that you get it. But the gotcha thing, I mean, we basically scared that out of the industry when Battlefront 2 flopped, right? To an extent.
It
much
made
less
them be a
common.
little less. No, it's increasingly common. I mean, look at Genshin Impact. It's just that they're being a little more coy about it. They're being a little smart about it. They're hiding it better, but it's still there, and it's there more than it's ever been. But, yeah. And I was just thinking about it's the same thing as comic books in the 90s where with like maybe you'll get a variant cover and I actually think like the start of this sort of like mentality in capitalism and entertainment is baseball cards, because like you would try to get like each one, they'd sell you a box, right, with 400 cards in it. You're only trying to get a set of 72 or whatever, but you'd get 400, 16 of them would be the same thing, and you're looking for that one. So then it's not in that box, that one. So then you buy another box.
Yeah.
And then when you have all this superfluous crap sitting around, all of a sudden it creates the secondary market. It creates speculation. And it's not a good thing.
No, really isn't. I mean, we
Because
saw what happened
eventually
to comic
the
books.
bottom falls out. Because who the fuck gives a shit about baseball cards right now?
Yeah, and we saw what happened with speculation with the comic book industry. It basically set itself with the lights on and grandma in the room in the late 90s.
All our church friends were there, and everybody brought a plate.
Hey, the same sort of thing happened with Magic the Gathering as well, but that one kept going for some reason because I guess there's a real game there as opposed to baseball cards.
I mean, what do you really do with, like, baseball cards used to be just this thing that came with gum.
Yeah.
You were buying gum and you got a picture of some fucking baseball player with it.
Yeah,
Hey,
and in the 50s, if you were a young boy, you probably actually did give a shit about baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, but kids wouldn't even like. What are you gonna do? You're gonna look at it? You know what I mean? Like they would stick them in their bicycles so it would sound cool when they rode around. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Hey, take a wild guess how much a Black Lotus sold for last year. This is the
What?
most expensive Magic the Gathering card.
All right, $10,000.
June, do you have a guess?
I'm gonna say it's gotta be under 1,000, but over 500.
Are you two fucking ready? This article's from March 5th, 2019. It sold for $166,100 US.
What?
Yeah. So that's the amount of that. You know, you can print one of those. You know what I'm saying? It's a piece of cardboard.
Well, to be fair, the Wizards of the Coast keeps a "we will never reprint this" list so that they'll never like fuck the value of this in the future.
But anything that like is designed to be collectible usually isn't. That's the fucked up thing. So I don't know. I don't know how they found the magic spell where they can do that. But
Christ on a bike.
A house. You could buy a house.
but like yeah, you know. But basically, when it comes to like anything collectible, and video games are collectible. It seems that the better you do is the more you hate your end customers.
Yeah. Yeah, why is that real? That is so real.
You know, and that's why like we have companies that have such like an anti-archivist thing. Horn
Like
was talking about that
Nintendo?
on Facebook. Yeah, Nintendo's a very big thing about we're going to sell you Super Mario Brothers again. Like, yes, it's really cool that all these kids are getting to play Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine and Galaxy on the Switch. You know what would be even cooler if they took all these old games and dumped them onto Steam.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
It would be cheaper for them. It would be pro-consumer.
They would make a ton of money.
And they would make so much money. They don't have to. Okay, they don't have to go as high as the Wii. But imagine if they dumped their NES library on Steam for let's say $5 a pop.
Yeah. What blows my mind though is the Nintendo fanboys who get all excited. It's like they're all like, "I can't wait to buy Zelda again." I'm like, "Which one?" All of them, over and over.
Forever.
Yeah.
But hold on. But that's if we even actually got Zelda re-releases.
No, that's the thing that blows my mind.
We got like HD. We got like the GameCube ones on the Wii.
Yeah.
And then the Wii ones on the Wii U, and that's as far as it goes. But like, if you want like the NES games, you got to subscribe to their service. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude. Like, I remember when me and Wayne were talking about alternate video game history. Like, how about a history where like id Software showed them Super Mario Brothers 3 running on a PC, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do that for all our games."
Yeah, and it's just kind of like it's a little mind blowing to me the way these companies are. It's like these companies aren't even good at capitalism. They're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, they are. They are because like when emulation started in the mid '90s, not when emulation as a concept started, but when emulation of NES games first started to become viable, where you could play games that you grew up with on your computer, usually with a keyboard. Nintendo freaked the fuck out. They're like, "This is our property. This are our games that you're putting out there for free." And it's like, well, you know, you're not selling them. Well, why don't you put them out there? Why don't you put the ROMs out there for a nominal fee?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It wouldn't cost you any what web space. You know what I mean? Like, why don't you sell Legend of Zelda .rom for $5, and then go after people who put it on the internet for free?
Yeah, exactly. But it's another example would be Doom 64. Doom 64 was not for sale for 20 fucking years, and you know, I remember the first time I was able to play Doom 64 on the PC was that fucking total conversion for
it was through the absolution for like J Doom or some shit, right?
Yeah. Actually, it wasn't DD Doom. It was
It was J
What
Doom.
the hell was it? It was that really fancy Doom
Yeah, it was up
source
its own
code.
ass a little bit.
I'm gonna look it up. I got the Doom wiki open right here.
And that was cool because it was like, wow, they did a pretty good job with this. Like, is it perfect? No. But like, it was a way to relive a really cool game and not have to use that controller for mutants.
was it? I think it was Doomsday. That's it. It was for
Doomsday. That's it.
Yeah, and then the same guy who ran the project to sort of like make a quote port of Doom 64 to Doomsday, he wrote a source port called Doom 64 EX.
Which actually used a Doom 64 ROM as its base, no?
Yeah, it basically you had to use a tool that was included with it to convert the ROM into a WAD that the source port would read.
Yeah. And you had to provide the ROM.
And it was picky about which ROM it would use. It's like I went through about 3 or 4 different ROMs and none of them worked until I found one that did. And that same guy would go on to work for Night Dive, which eventually brought Doom 64 to the PC for real.
So this is the guy who really loved that fucking game and wanted people to play it.
Yeah. No, he's actually been responsible for bringing a lot of old first-person shooters on consoles to PC. He did the Turok 1 and 2 re-release. He did...
Oh, and I have those on
Oh,
Steam.
neat. Cool.
Yeah, I believe he was involved in the Strife re-release. Now, that was a PC game, but nobody remembers Strife. Let's see, what else did he do? Power Slave. I think he's been working on that.
Oh, Power Slave for PC would be dope.
I know. I would totally be into that.
That was one of the coolest first-person shooters on the original PlayStation.
Yeah. Would you believe that the PlayStation version and the PC version are very different?
Well, yeah, that's why if he brought the PlayStation version to PC, that would be awesome, because the PlayStation was the good one.
What's funny, because the PC version actually ran on the build engine.
Ooh, that's why. That build engine was held together by, like, spit and twine.
I know. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I really like Duke 3D. I like Redneck Rampage. I like Blood. But that engine, oh my god, it didn't like it all.
It's a mess.
Yeah, there was this guy who, like, he goes through, like, old game engine code, and so he read through the build engine code, and he actually provided his notes that he wrote down while he was looking through the code, and you could spot the exact moment where he lost his mind. It's like he was just like, oh the horror, oh the horror, oh the horror, over and over again.
Didn't John Carmack say the build engine was something MacGyver would have made?
Honestly, though, if you think about it, though, it sort of makes sense because Ken Silverman. I got my name mixed up. Anyway, Ken Silverman was a teenager when he wrote that.
That's fair.
So it makes sense that it's a kind of a mess, and also 3D Realms didn't really do much to clean it up.
Where are their teenagers? I need to know for research purposes. I'll be nice. I'll take them to an ICP concert.
Oh no! Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
If we didn't have a good train running, I can't derail, right?
I don't know. I respect your derailing abilities too much.
I mean, yeah, but we have to get a good thing going before it's derailed. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's fair.
You don't just derail somebody's toy, like little Tonka thing, you know, that they're playing with in the parking lot. You got to go for like the Amtrak, you know?
Yeah, to
Wayne wants to know if you need a blanket, June.
I have a blanket.
Huh.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold here too.
Yeah, it's like 46 out and very gloomy on this fine Wednesday.
Too bad it's not June, am I right?
That sounds hot. It's 21 here.
This isn't fun. What the? Oh.
Metric.
Okay.
It is 68 in my room, so it's pretty cold. It's 68 in my room, which is pretty cold, but I keep the window open because my room is a fucking hotbox. There's like one vent in here, and you know if I close my window and I open the vent, during the winter, the temperature would shoot up to like 80, and I'm not here for that.
So we're gonna have to make sure you get the most well ventilated room, or we're just gonna have to start taking down walls when we have a place of our own.
Yeah, a nice, well-ventilated room. I mean, we're gonna need well-ventilated rooms anyway because of how much gas I put out. So,
I just imagine June going up to like an oscillating fan, and right as they turn on, going, "Hey, blow me, blow me, hey you, hey, blow me." And then the oscillating fan starts going back and forth. You're like, "What do you mean no?"
okay, that may be me, but at least I won't get into an argument with a bar of soap.
Yeah, these bars soap or whatever. You tell me how to live my life.
Yeah, I think.
I don't argue with my soap because I have that Trump soap, the Duke kitchen soap. I shoved the bar up my ass and it came out with hair on it. That's
Oh
nasty.
no!
Oh. Have you two seen that stupid? Oh God, there's like a
Buchanan, that's what it's called.
Have I seen what?
there's a brand of soap that's like catered to fucking fragile masculinity.
Well, that's what we were talking about because
Oh, that is it?
the man with the
Okay.
fake name posted a whole thing on like the YouTube community page about how it's manly and it supports veterans somehow.
What
And
brand
we went
is
to the
this?
website and we were like, "Is this a joke or not?" It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
What
okay.
brand is this?
Duke Cannon.
Oh my
remember?
god, okay. I have a story to tell you about Duke Cannon. Are you ready for that?
I'm not ready. Tell it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, about a month ago, they posted an ad for pumpkin spice soap.
I can
And
imagine
okay,
how
for
that
whatever
went.
reason, Facebook sees fit to advertise Duke Cannon to me. I don't understand why. But
Because you
so I
looked
got
it
this
up
ad for
once
pumpkin spice soap.
when
And
we
the
were
comments
talking
were
about it, you looked it up.
yeah, the comments were so fucking full of fragile men who were so upset about this fucking pumpkin spice soap that Duke Cannon obviously made as a joke. And they fragile man babies were losing their fucking mind. So I bought one. And I gotta tell you, this thing is fucking huge. It's gonna last me for months.
I even before you said that, I strongly suspected Duke Cannon soap was a joke because the whole like soap
Yeah.
on a rope thing is like, okay, you're just taking the piss out of these poor
If
insecure
you-
idiots.
If you go to their website and read it, you automatically read it in Adam Carolla's voice.
Okay, so here is what I bought. It does not come with a rope, by the way.
Well, what happens if you drop it?
Yeah, so it does not come with a rope, and
It even says basic ass on it.
Basic ass pumpkin
Yeah.
spice latte soap.
here's the funny thing.
You know,
Okay, I have
okay,
no
but here's
sense
the
of
thing,
smell,
like,
but
you
Tori
keep saying-
tells me
you
it
keep
actually
say-
smells kind of good.
Well, of course, but you keep saying it's a joke and they're not getting it. The first thing on the product specs is this is not a joke.
And then it
And
requires
then the
well,
second one is it is a joke. So like the whole idea of this is some person. I get like a Chuck Bahulnik vibe from Duke Cannon, you know?
Yeah, but what got me was, it's like, joke or not, these guys on these comments on the Facebook ad, they were so fucking hilarious and so sad. It was just so full of men who, I mean, I just have to wonder, do these guys even wash their own dick in the shower, or are they afraid of touching
Well,
dicks?
That would be gay. You can't touch a dick even if it's your own.
Yeah, it's like, fellas, is it gay to clean yourself?
Don't joke about that though, because there is actually a lot of guys out there who don't wash their own ass.
I have
for
heard
that.
about that, and I'm going to joke about it because that is fucking sad.
Because okay, like I may be giving away a little bit too much information here, personally, but I don't give a fuck. This is Twitch. This is what we do. But when I'm in the shower and it comes time to clean the asshole region, I'm a little anal about it, pun intended. Like this is an area that I need to be completely fucking clean. So
can
I'm
relate.
trying to imagine somebody who's like afraid that they might touch their own butthole, and I'm like, you mean you don't in the shower? You're not cleaning it?
Like, okay. I am a particularly squeamish person about a lot of this stuff, even though I'm not squeamish about TMI stuff, but I'm like, I get really easily grossed out.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way because I'd rather have a clean ass.
Yeah.
What the fuck, people?
Well, I clean it so thoroughly because I'm squeamish about that kind of thing.
Exactly, I'm the same way. That it actually
I
gets me
mean,
in trouble sometimes.
like imagine being so gross and that like you're just like first of all it's not like your gym teacher is watching you in the shower saying don't touch that, that's you'll turn into a sissy. It doesn't work like that. You're alone, nobody's watching you.
Yeah,
Clean your
exactly. So,
fucking
I mean,
asshole out.
I remember I actually got into it with someone on Facebook a while back about this.
Wait,
Believe it or
it's
not.
healthy.
It was actually on my phone, and I was like about to go to sleep, so I didn't screenshot, and then I couldn't find it again. But basically, this guy was arguing that wiping your own ass is gay or whatever, and I'm like, okay, first of all, you're in the bathroom, you're alone, nobody would know. And you know what his response was? I would know.
I would know. Okay, so this is what I would say to something like that if I saw it. If you like wiping your own ass is only gay if you get hard when you do it. Okay,
and maybe
Okay.
not even then.
no, maybe not. That's true.
I really had to fight the urge to link him to that Ron White routine about porn.
I know which one you're talking about.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I did not know that about myself. Ron White was this comedian kitty. He called himself Tater Salad, and he was saying he basically took down homophobia in one fell blow.
Okay.
And saying that like he would say to people who are homophobic, well, do you watch porn? They'd be like, yes, of course. Do you only watch porn with women in it? And if the answer is yes, you're watching gay porn.
Actually, that wasn't
And if
even
the
it. What
answer is
happened was
no-
that the
yeah.
guy was like,
No, well, I'm getting to it. And if the answer is no, it's like, oh, so, like, well, I like to watch a man and a woman. And I say, well, do you like it when the guy's got like a short, shriveled, soft dick? And he's like, no, I like a big hard. Oh,
I did not know that about myself. I posted the routine in the chat.
Yeah, I opened it up and saw the thumbnail, and I actually have seen. I didn't remember his name, but I watched a lot of when there weren't any good cartoons on. The other channel I would watch back home was the Comedy Network or Comedy
Comedy
Channel.
Central.
I'm
Or
not a
Internet
big,
Comedy Channel. That's right.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of stand-up comedy. I think John knows that because I complain about it every chance I get. But
I'm a fan of good stand-up.
I would say that I think stand-up as a medium itself is on its way out and good written, but that doesn't mean there aren't good stand-up.
Well, good luck doing stand-up performance in the age of COVID.
I don't think that stand-up is because it's basically just doing a monologue. It's not that different from what like Jimmy Kimmel or whatever's doing. I don't think it's on its way out. I just think that it's and it might be like the last bastion of chuddery to finally be exposed and brought up to the standards of everyone else, and that's why you're seeing people like the perfect example is what's that guy that was jerking off in front of women?
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Now this guy is brilliant. He was incredibly funny,
No, he's
and
not.
he came into stand up at a time and it was stagnant. And it's funny because he's been doing it for a long time, but all of a sudden he found this niche when he was like 45 years old and became really funny. And then you find out that like this character that he basically created about himself was real, and that it was disturbing because you think that like all this stuff that comedians say about their lives is supposed to be bullshit. It's supposed to be jokes, but he was being honest. And that's why we find out that he's a chud because he joked about doing things like that.
Yeah, the sad thing is, he basically slumped back and restarted his career 6 months later. So really, nothing happened to
Well,
him.
actually, it really wasn't even. He tried to do that, and he was pretty well rejected. He had to wait like a good 2.5 years before he was able to find a venue.
Yeah, I guess what bothers me though is nothing's gonna happen to him of any real consequence. He's just not gonna be able to afford a helipad for a six
That's not
mansion.
true. He had a movie that was canceled. He had a Netflix show deal that went completely south, and the thing is, you don't see him on like the Tonight Show anymore. You're not seeing him on He doesn't have a Netflix special anymore.
Well, no, so he's not gonna be able to afford a helipad for a six mansion. Boo hoo.
Well, I think his wife must have gotten that one in the divorce. And it's funny, is like, yeah, like he was a self-fulfilling prophecy because he said, yeah, I got a wife and kids, things are going great, and this is only going to last another few years. This is all going to go downhill. And everybody laughs because that's legitimately funny, but then you realize he's not telling jokes.
No, that. Honestly, I'll be real with you. I feel like it's you're a comedian, okay, let me rephrase here. If you're a male comedian and you've been into business since the '90s, get out.
And Paul brings up a good point that they had to stealthily bring him out. They couldn't advertise that Louis C.K. was going to be there because everybody would walk the fuck out.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I feel like the best era for comedy was probably the '70s. After that, because it's a bit like underground comics, where that sort of.
I'm going to counter that with the 50s because that's when comics were out there breaking barriers and getting arrested for saying words like bitch or pregnant.
Okay, that's fair.
Think about people
I look at it in terms of like okay, take the underground art movement, like underground comics or whatever. It's like you have these people who at the time they were like considered to be like super fucking subversive. They were revolutionary, and whatever you may say about the actual content, because let's be honest here, people like R. Crumb deserve to die, and Mike Diana need to be mulched. But let's put all that aside, and
and they
let's
didn't
talk
even
about
try to
how
make him look good.
let's put all that aside and talk about how this was an opportunity to push against the status quo, to really push the boundaries. But the sad thing is once those boundaries have been pushed, once you've made being transgressive into an art form, now it's mainstream, now it's passe, and all that's left is to be an offensive dickwad.
Well, it's interesting because you were making me think when you were talking about that. You're making me think about Roseanne, right? And I was thinking about how she was a stand-up comic, and she kind of like was like pushing the boundaries and going against the status quo. One of the first like really successful, not only a female stand-up, but of a large size. She gets her own sitcom. It becomes the number one hit on TV, and then what happens? What the hell happened to her?
Yeah.
She became first of all, like, I don't even understand where she is politically because she went from running for president under the Green Party to shilling for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that, like, you're right. Like, after a while, it just becomes, let me see what I can say that's going to piss people off, even if it's not funny. And the reason I was thinking about Roseanne in the first place is because you brought up underground comics, and I know how you feel about the medium of underground comics. The actual, and it's funny, whenever I hear anything about underground comics, I remember an episode of Roseanne where one of her daughters and the daughter's boyfriend was making an underground comic, and then the little brother got a hold of it and brought it to school. He got in trouble for having it. They call Roseanne and Dan down to the school, and they're just like, so what? He brought a comic book to school. Who cares? Not a big deal. And then they look at it and they're like, oh my God, this is sick. We had and then they never say what's in it, right? But the one line that got me was, we had underground comics when we were kids, but they were all violence and sex. This is fucked up. So it's like, and to me, that's brilliant because that leaves it up to your imagination what's actually in there.
Oh no. Okay. Know what that makes me think of though? When you brought up Roseanne, and now I got to thinking Johnny Rotten. Johnny Rotten came. He was like the big name in rebellious punk music, and now he turned into my dad.
Yeah. Or
He's just another racist Brexiter.
how about Varg Verkenis?
About who?
Varg.
Oh my God. Varg. Okay, to be fair, Varg was always a Nazi.
Yeah, but but we didn't know it back in the '80s. But he's like burned churches, and now he's just like,
He's a sad sack who needs to be back in jail.
yeah. He's just this sad old chud whiling away his time on Twitter, complaining about the brown people.
Yeah. But the thing with Boeing, I don't think is a good example because he was always a Nazi. That never changed. I mean, black metal was full of Nazis back in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, they all got rejected from the punk scene, so they had to go somewhere, huh?
Yeah, but I just feel like a lot of these people who they got to start being like rebellious, they grow up and now they're like do exactly the kind of thing that they were rebelling against.
It happens all the time. And like one of the people I follow on Twitter this kind of goes back to Roseanne a little bit, is Tom Arnold. He was married to her, so he knows. And he says, when I met her, she was so, like free and open, and she was she taught me how to be a liberal, and now look at her kissing Trump's ass. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, and I think it basically I got to thinking. It reminds me of that whole thing where, boomers like to say, you're going to get more conservative as you get older. And I'm like, yeah, I'm almost 40 and I'm actually a communist. 20 years ago, I would have probably tried to kill me.
That's also just survivor bias anyway.
I was going to bring something up about what Katie just said. Didn't Corin say that, leftists tend to die young?
Well, yeah, because the more right-wing you are, the more likely you are, statistically speaking, to be wealthy, and the more wealthy you are, the more likely you are to live longer because you're not fighting for your basic needs.
Yeah, you have all the best health care, all the best, the very best.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a lot of us are under a lot of stress too. I mean, you try meeting a socialist who doesn't have some sort of coping mechanism that may not be completely healthy.
Yeah, we need them.
Yeah, it reminds me. It reminds me of something Audrey once said. Well, as you work in children's animation and you have a working internet connection, you're probably an alcoholic.
I have a coping mechanism. What I do is I scratch my taint, and then I sniff my fingers. And then I go to the, I don't know if you've heard of it, it's called the Church of a Million Chuds. Sometimes you see Chris Pratt there. Anyway, I go there and I put 3 cents in the poor box, and that gets me right with Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
I came up with that a few weeks ago when I was playing Lennis 2. I was doing this voice for this character. I was like, hello, I've got my way to church. Do you like my hat? And then somebody said something about the Church of a Million Chuds, and I'm like, yes, Chris Pratt is there sometimes. and people started asking me, who else comes and how often they come, and it became a whole thing. And one of them was fake name. And somebody asked about a certain Chris, I said, Chris comes every day. He has nothing better to do. He used to go on Twitch all the time, but everybody banned him, so now he goes to church instead.
I'll be right back for 2 seconds.
After these messages, they'll be right back.
Okay, I'm back. I had to blow my nose, and I didn't want everybody to hear that.
Is your car always exploding?
That sounds like the beginning of a commercial. Is your car always exploding?
That's what I was going for. I just didn't have a follow-up.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the rest of it. I thought this is going to be good. When are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
This is what I've been putting up with for the last 20 years, y'all.
And you'll put up with it for another 20 years.
Yeah,
And
I
now-
wouldn't have it
and
any
now-
other way.
and now I'm
Okay,
helping.
Peace, you have a great night. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to see the rest of it, I will have the VOD up, and I will probably be porting this month's videos to YouTube in the next couple of days. So, you have a great night.
Yeah, have a good night, Fish.
And I helped.
Okay, can you do that in a Ralphie voice?
In a what voice?
A Ralphie Wiggum voice?
It's shake and bake, and I helped.
Damn.
That was him hitting the ground. I actually lowered the microphone. I hit it so hard. Oh, God.
Wow. Just wow.
Homer, you like shake and bake. You used to put it in your coffee. Yeah. How bet he also glazed his coffee.
Okay.
I love when I do a voice that I haven't done in a long time, or one that June has never heard, and their reaction is amazing.
Yeah.
Like I think I did like Mayor Quimby one time, and June had never heard me do Mayor Quimby, and out of nowhere I'm like, yeah, I am Diamond June Quimby, and I say grab her by the pussy, and June just died. It was amazing.
Was it? That might have been on a Gloomwave because I think
believe it
remember
was.
hearing it. Yeah.
I believe it was.
So how about that fucking Supreme Court?
Yeah, wow, wait, did she fly under the radar or what?
I know, what the fuck? And what blew my mind, it's like, I remember hearing that she finally got confirmed, and I'm just like, well,
Wait, hold on.
this is the world we live in.
Oh, hold on. How dare you use the word finally when they freaking greased her up and shot her down towards the Supreme Court like it was a slip and slide with bacon grease?
Oh, ew, bacon grease.
Okay. Let's ignore this conservative bias for a moment, right? Because you yourself, June, have said that you feel that I could do JFK in just a second, Star, but let me get this point out. Because June has said many times in the past that the Supreme Court, in and of itself, is sort of anti-democratic, and
They're very anti-democratic.
we're seeing that here, not in just the fact that like Trump is like curling one out right before the election, but also as of now, 5 out of the 9 justices have been appointed by presidents who lost the popular vote.
Yeah. That's real.
Okay, ask not what your country can do for you, but how many times are you going to blow me? Jay Sherman, it stinks.
That's a little too high-pitched for Jay Sherman.
It stinks, it stinks, it stinks.
That's a little better. Yeah. God.
He always raised his voice when he said it. I even do the where he puts his finger up when he says it. I have to do that voice. I have to put my finger up in the air. That's why I want to get a webcam, so when I do the voices, you can see the theatrics I put on.
Oh god.
Yeah, you have to get a webcam, and if you do, let me know what it is.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Webcams got stupid expensive though, probably
Really?
because the pandemic has gone on long enough that people who are cooped up are buying more of them.
Yeah.
Well, maybe somebody I know has a spare one. They'll sell me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kyle. Oh no. Weird cough today, but yeah. I was a fan of the
I
critic.
don't think Reagan is going to give you a webcam. I'm sorry.
No, that was Kyle. Oh, it's this weird frog in my throat. Where is some dragons? Whereas.
Are you looking to what kind of dragon? Are we
Okay,
talking Dragon
yeah,
Quest? Are we well, I don't know. You can just imagine it.
I got to try to get us back onto the topic that June brought up. Is that like 5 out of the 9 Supreme Court justices have been chosen, appointed by presidents that lost the popular vote, and that's as undemocratic as it gets.
Hey, isn't it weird how being offended and outraged didn't do anything, liberals?
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting because, like, when it was happening during Obama's term with Sotomayor, everybody was saying, we can't let this happen, we need a 60% majority. And now they're just like, we can't let this not happen.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't let Biden pack the court. What are you doing?
Yeah, Biden.
Like, they're sitting there, like, Trump's putting out these ads about how court packing is wrong as he's fucking the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was McConnell. I've heard quotes from Mitch McConnell where he's been a little bit more candid than he should have been in front of a microphone. Not that it's had any effect, obviously. Where he basically admitted that it's just a move.
Of course, it's just a move.
They know what they're doing.
Anyone who thinks otherwise is, just sitting there watching their ICP videos and playing MapleStory.
I think we're
jerking off to Genshin Impact,
Yeah, I wonder though. I have to wonder what the how easy it would be to just add more Supreme Court justices to the Supreme Court. I mean,
that's something that Biden's been talking about actually, is expanding the Supreme Court. And then like everybody's like, well, it's been 9. Why would you change it? It's been 9 since 1875. Like, okay, isn't that a problem that it hasn't changed since 1875? We had, okay, Congress has increased.
Yeah, Congress has
House of
blown up.
Representatives, there's like nearly 500 of the motherfuckers now.
Yeah, yeah. And so, what if we can change Congress? Why can't we change the Supreme Court? Well, hell, let's get a couple more presidents up in here. I mean, one of them might be useful.
I don't know, man. I think we need less presidents, not more.
I mean, okay, I'm joking, and you all know who my ideal president is anyway. So
Guillotine with not materia with Meteor as VP.
I mean, not necessarily in media. That would be a cabinet. For VP would be the wood chipper.
The wood chipper.
Bernie Sanders can also be on this candidate. On this cabinet.
He needs to stop. He's not helping. It's time to pass the torch, Bernie. You're old.
Yeah, but to whom?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Bernie's going to run again next time.
Please
but
don't.
I wonder if AOC will.
I fucking hope so.
Will she be old enough?
What? I think she will be, but let me see her.
Well, here's the thing. So Biden said he's only going to run for one term anyway. So you got to assume that the next candidate's going to be Kamala Harris.
I hate Kamala Harris, but I mean
I
Kamala
think she's
Harris
better
is like. She's basically like what you get is you hate Tulsi Gabbard.
June, hold on. I want to hear who she's better than.
I think she's better than Biden, at least.
I don't
No.
agree. I really don't agree.
At least he's not a cop.
He's a lot
Yeah,
of other
she's a
bad
comp.
things.
I don't like Harris at all. Like I said, Harris is who you get is you hate Tulsi Gabbard.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate Tulsi Gabbard.
How about no, Paul?
Yeah.
But, oh, no. I'd rather take Bill. No.
I'd rather you take me too, Jim.
Oh my God.
You got a pretty.
I wonder who out of the current crop I wouldn't mind seeing as president. I mean, AOC is one. Let me see.
What about Ilhan Omar?
Omar. I could
She's not-
see that.
Like her. That would piss off the chuds so much, though, that the next president after her would be like Super Trump. It would be like Tom Cotton or something.
Yeah.
So we can't have that.
The literal resurrected body of Hitler.
Also, technically,
2028.
Ilhan Omar can't run for president because
She wasn't born in the country, I know.
Yeah. But, I'm going to be honest with you. Personally, I think we should probably get rid of that. I mean, I understand why the founders created that stipulation, but I don't think it really matters now.
Yeah, to screw Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So, there's a lot of things the framers came up with that were specific to their particular time that I think no longer serve us today. For example, the Electoral College.
Yeah.
For example, the United States of America.
I mean, in demo, yes, but if we're going to talk about keeping the United States of America, we should probably, update our Constitution and stuff a little more.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a living document.
Exactly. Oh my God! Don't let my mom hear you say that though. She'd lose her mind.
Sorry, June's mom.
No, but Mom was like a really strict originalist. She was like anything to the Constitution is bad and undemocratic.
What
blah,
about
blah,
the
blah.
what about the change that let women vote?
I mean,
That.
I
that
mean,
wasn't-
see the thing
they
is,
had to
I'd be
amend it
really
for that.
afraid to ask Mom's opinion on that because Mom could say things that fucking shock me sometimes. Yeah, it's like
I saw Dora the Explorer. It was pornographic.
I mean, I've seen that hentai, but
Yeah, she was talking about the actual show.
I know.
And
I know.
nobody could explain it. Even she.
nobody could. Yeah,
saying it.
nobody knew what the hell she was talking about. I even asked her about it later, and she denied saying it.
Personally, I think the word she might have been looking for was obscene.
Yeah, but how is it even that?
Well, you know how these old boomers just, they hyperbolize.
God damn. I mean, maybe she just didn't like the box.
You know what, Paul? We still don't even really technically have universal suffrage because there are a lot of people who can't vote. Like if you're a convicted felon, you can't vote.
Yes, and when you consider that, and when you consider the percentage of the population who are who have been in prison, and you consider the percentage of them who are people of color, all of a sudden things start making
Yeah.
sense. It makes a lot of sense, don't they?
Yeah, especially when you consider people who are convicted felons of laws that shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, yeah.
Or laws that no longer exist.
That's true too. Although I believe if you're a convicted felon of a law that is no longer, I believe you can petition to get your voting rights back. Although I think the shade of your skin might determine the outcome there.
Yeah, yeah. To me, no, this country is. I remember 20 years ago, I was such a proud patriot, and now I just look at myself and I'm just like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, to be fair, I was the same way with Canada, and then I learned some things and saw that we aren't really that much better than the States, and so all
to
countries are bad.
And
to
I
answer-
get the occasional conservative being like, "Well, if you don't like America, go somewhere else." I'm like, "Where the fuck am I gonna go? First of all, I can't afford it, and second of all, they all suck too. Everything
yeah.
fucking sucks." So how about you leave, and I will try to make this butthole country,
Yeah.
a little bit better. You get out. Go on, go move to Hungary or something. I don't
Okay,
know.
I want to answer Paul, because Paul asked when black people got the ability to vote, and technically it's when they became citizens after the Emancipation Proclamation, after slavery ended. However, people made it as difficult as they could for black people to vote, mostly by murdering. Murder was a huge deterrent for voting. That's what happened in Tulsa anyway.
Being murdered would stop me from voting.
Yeah. That they taught us in schools that they would do like the grandfather clause, where your grandfather had to be born in this country to vote and things like that. But really, they just started murdering the shit out of black people. That's what really happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened in Tulsa, and it was a long time before black people were able to just go to the polls. And even today, like they've said that, like, okay, I live in Pennsylvania. We technically have voter ID laws here, right? I have never once in my life been asked to show ID when I voted, and but I've seen black people being asked.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm of color technically, but I pass as white as fuck.
You do. In fact,
you know.
until you told me, I had no, because I remember seeing pictures of you way back in the early 2000s. Until you told me, I had no idea.
I'm a pale motherfucker, but you know,
My girlfriend's the same way. She's native but white
yeah,
passing.
I'm part indigenous, I'm part Hispanic, and I'm part white too. But I do consider myself a person of color simply because I know that the KKK would love to murder me. So, that's a pretty good yardstick, I think. And I've never once, been asked for ID, but I've seen black people being told that they're at the wrong polling place after the polls are technically closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen them being asked for ID. It's just, voter suppression is very, 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 very real. And it's funny that the people that you hear complaining about it the most are the chuds who think that if we mail in our votes, that all the Trump votes are going to be thrown in the trash.
I mean, they're voting for trash.
You know what's sad, Wayne, is that the only president in our history who has ever even played lip service to the idea of Juneteenth being a holiday is Donald Trump.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's sad. And we know he's a huge racist. He's only trying to just get some black people to vote for him.
Yeah, it's real. That's real. And, it's funny how desperate the party and government is right now. Also known, party and government, also known as the pigs.
I just thought of a movie that the three of us absolutely have to watch, and I think we should do it soon. It's Bulworth.
Yes, that's a good one.
I don't know anything about it, but I am on board.
It's about a presidential candidate who is being hounded by an assassin, and he's also going from being a liberal to more of a leftist, and he's trying to get his message out there and reach out to like people of color and everything. But then he's got this person who's trying to kill him, and it turns out about halfway through that you find out that he's suicidal and he hired his own hitman,
Oh, jeez.
and that he's now having second thoughts because he's found a reason to live.
Yeah.
And yeah, Warren Beatty and Halle Berry are in it. It's
Oh,
so
neat.
good too.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I like it. I remember showing it to Mom. She wasn't a fan of it.
Oh, I would imagine not.
Yeah, so
I would imagine not.
no. But man, I haven't thought of that movie in years. Wow.
I don't know. You said something that reminded me of it, and that's why I thought we should watch it.
Cool.
Okay,
So I think
well,
we should also do Wag the Dog at some point, but I've mentioned that one before.
I'd like to see Wag the Dog. It's funny though because you all know what the movie we're gonna be watching on Friday is, right?
I forgot already.
The
I just
Dead
downloaded
Zone.
it. Oh yeah, the Dead Zone.
And President Sheen.
Yeah, and there's a reason I picked that movie. Yeah, I'm making it an election year tradition now.
I think that was one of the first movies that I saw where I was like, I liked it better than the book.
I kind of have to agree. Yeah.
The book was kind of a slog.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of over reading Stephen King, but I'm happy to watch his movies.
Some are better than others, though.
Yeah, that's true. Like The Dark Tower. Ugh. We
my
don't
God.
talk about that.
I saw the Dark Tower movie, and yeah, I'm still not sure what the hell was even going on. Mom saw it, and I know she liked it. I know she just likes it because Idris Elba's in it, And I go, yeah, Idris Elba's great and everything, but it was not a good movie.
Oh.
And she kept saying to me, well, you can't take it as you can't compare it to the book because like they always change things. And I'm like, Mom, I want you to imagine if you never read The Dark Tower and you went and saw this movie. It's nonsense.
It is.
It makes no. They make no attempt to explain anything to the audience. They assume you've read all 7 books, and they're trying to smash all 7 books into 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And
They really should release the Snyder Cut.
Oh, by the way, speaking of which, because we have HBO Max, and I'm planning on watching Justice League. It's called the Director's Cut, by the way.
I know, I'm not being funny.
It is 4 hours long.
4 hours long.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah,
that's actually longer than the Redoc version of Apocalypse Now.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Beavis, but it was supposed to be 2 movies. Remember, there was supposed to be a Justice League 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
And then Zack Snyder exit stage left, and we got
I feel
June's favorite director.
No, I feel bad for what happened to Zack Snyder's family. I feel for him, but I'm kind of glad that he is out of the DCEU.
I'm neutral on that, but I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about his replacement, your favorite director.
Yeah, but
Jude's trying not to get pissed at me right now.
oh, Gibbsy. David Lynch on the Coke bench. No, I have not seen Dune 1984 yet. I would like to though, because I'm a David
for the
Lynch
new
fan.
version. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny because David Lynch himself doesn't like that movie, and I'm just like, well,
I don't blame him. It was kind of bad.
yeah, but it's funny though because okay, I have seen a bunch of David Lynch films and I've seen Twin Peaks, and I'll tell you, I like David Lynch except for one thing. I hated The Elephant Man.
Really?
Hated it. Know why?
I've never seen it, so I have no opinion.
It's okay. It does the same thing that every other goddamn movie about a disabled person does. It's suffering porn for able-bodied
that's so
people to feel good
inspirational.
about themselves. I hate it.
yeah, that's bad.
You're so inspirational. You make me want to get up in the morning.
I fucking hate that movie. And it's like, okay, the makeup job they did was really, really good. I will give that. I mean, they basically had to invent an entire category for best makeup because of that movie.
Yeah.
But it's still a shit movie. And it's like it's nothing really wrong with the direction or anything like that. It's nothing wrong with the acting. It's just, like I said, it's suffering porn for able-bodied people, and I'm never ever going to like that. I hate
Yeah,
it.
you got a point. I've never seen it, but you do have a point about movies like that.
Yeah, it's like what was that other movie about? About that kid with the
Mask. I was just
deformed
about to
face?
bring it up. Mask with Eric Stoltz. It was about Rocky Dennis.
Yes, that's the one.
That was a true story, though.
It is a true story, and technically so was the Elephant Man. But I
The
don't.
Elephant Man was embellished, though. Like Rocky Dennis actually worked on the script for Mask.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't like these kind of movies. They just feel exploitative. It's like it reminds me of that movie, for that movie in a movie from Tropic Thunder.
Okay, that's a Simple Jack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, see, I liked Mask. I mean, because I think Cher is a great actress, Eric Stoltz, and then you had a very young Laura Dern before she was famous. But to just answer Wayne, Patrick Stewart makes everything better.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart makes everything
I finally
better.
saw that third Uber Eats commercial with him and Mark Hamill where they're playing Connect Four, and he's like something like, "I won again, Patrick," and it's like, "That's Sir Patrick," and I swear Hamill lapses into the joke, "Ooh, sir."
Okay. Speaking of Patrick Stewart, Wayne, well, really, to anybody here, had you seen the movie Green Room?
Oh my God!
I have not. I mean, that's not surprising. I haven't seen a lot of things, but
First of all, imagine Sir Patrick Stewart playing a Nazi punk.
It is amazing.
Not a young Patrick Stewart, old Patrick Stewart playing a Nazi. He plays an excellent villain whenever he does. This is his scariest role.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it. It's from the same director who did
Yelchin
Blue
was the
Ruin.
lead in that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know what though? It's that you only saw part of it because my internet
the rest of
decided
it
to shit
later.
the bed right around then.
Yeah, but I watched the rest of it like later
Yeah, that's true.
on like fucking Putlocker or something.
Yeah. Okay, I just realized it's after 8, so we're gonna have to wrap
Now
things
we
up.
could break out the mints.
shit, I want it after 8 now.
You ever see that picture where it's like it says 7:30 on a clock and somebody's opening an after 8 mint while giving the finger to the clock and it says like "fuck the police."
Oh God. Okay. One more thing before we go. How mad are we at Ice Cube right now?
Oh, don't, I'm gonna quote Pleasantly Twisted when I brought him up in her stream. Don't invoke that ash monster here.
What did Ice Cube do?
He's not only now supporting Trump, he's collaborating with Trump.
Yeah,
Oh.
and he is basically being okay. Remember how J.K. Rowling sort of played up being a TERF for years until she just straight out came out.
She dove
was
head
a TERF?
first, yeah.
She
Okay,
came out of the closet.
I
You know
okay.
what?
Ice Cube had
Every
played up
coming out
being
of the closet thing, we should
anti-Semitic
send her,
for years, but now he's just openly being anti-Semitic.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I mean he's toyed with that for a while. It is true. Like he's buddies with Louis Farrakhan. I mean, you know.
Yeah, so no, I'm kind of over Ice Cube.
But I went into Twisted Stream and I was like, man, you know, Twitter went down, and I thought Ice Cube hacked me because I told him he was a dumbass, and she said, don't even bring up that ash monster.
Okay. Okay, so we should probably go over the schedule. So let me go over.
Pronounced schedule.
Yeah. We got a big
Or the
week
Latin
coming up.
schedule.
'Cause we got-
Tomatoes.
You realize that you're still on the air, right?
I'm always
yeah.
on the air. You can't stop me.
We've tried.
Okay.
We can't
Well,
stop him.
can you
He's
please stop
unstoppable.
just?
Cannot contain Sir Patrick. I'll just come bursting out.
Okay. How about this? Why don't you two please announce yourselves, show yourselves a little bit, and then before I do the schedule. So
Oh, I'm Sir Patrick Stewart. I do Broadway. Oh, you mean me?
that don't mean you baked potato.
I'm NecroVMX. I stream on Twitch. I also do YouTube videos, and I drive June absolutely batshit insane. Over to you, kitty.
My name is Darkling Kitty. I also stream on Thursdays through Sundays at twitch.tv/DarklingKitty. And I am in love with June, and that's why I'm here.
Oh, puppy love. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, kitty.
I love you, Kitty.
You know, when my throat is raw, it actually makes the Joker voice easier to do.
Oh god, there's a voice like that.
I can see
There's
that.
this really whiny zombie in a JRPG, just really quick, and I had a cold once, a really bad cold, and I was able to do his voice perfectly, and never again.
When I was sick once, I was able to do Ray Romano's voice perfectly, and I've never been able to replicate it.
Okay, here's what we got coming up. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we will be opening up with more marathon. I'm really excited for that. I love marathon. Great game to play. And then on Friday, well, I will be joining Kitty on Fun Fridays.
Phasmophobia. That's what the game's called.
Yeah, Phasmophobia. I keep getting
the deep chill of spectral analingus.
Oh my god, I love the Friend Friday screen.
I know. I thought you would. I made it just for you. Okay,
Don't get
so
excited, Google.
after Fun Friday, we've got Halloween coming up, and I will not be doing Silent Hill 2 this week because we are going to be
you
doing
never
a
shut
special Halloween stream. I'm just going to be playing all sorts of games. I'm going to be playing Castlevania, no other stuff. Just be here. We're gonna have fun. And
I just
after
want to
after
that
Halloween,
like,
we will
you
be
look
coming back
thirsty.
on Sunday with more. Fuck.
With
Kingsfield.
more fuck?
With more fuck, not less.
Yeah, more fuck. Anyway, more Kingsfield. So you'll want to be here for that.
Isn't that where the fuck happens? In Kingsfield?
Fornication under consent of the king, although that's apocryphal. I don't think that's actually where the word fuck came from.
It actually comes from the German word flicken, which means to strike. They used it in terms of cattle raising, you know, animal husbandry. It's all in Moogle's diary.
Okay, and on Tuesday is Final Fantasy VII, and I want to remind you that Tuesday is actually election day, so I do plan to stream that day. I'm probably just going to be working more on Chocobo inbreeding. So, but I will probably be a little bit late that day because I have to go vote. So I don't expect a long stream. I'll keep you posted on when I'm able to stream. So, and I will Kitty, are you interested in hanging out with me on Tuesday?
Always. I'm interested in hanging out with you every day.
Excellent. What about you, John? I don't think you're streaming at that time.
You know, you should play Final Fantasy VI. That Kefka guy, he's got style. I like him.
Okay.
I'll be there if I can, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I don't plan to do a super long stream. I just want to get the Golden Chocobo and then be done with it. And then after that, I will probably do the Crash Galnica and then finish the game, but that's going to be in a couple weeks.
Do you think you can ride a goose? No, you can't. They are way too small. They'll bite your fingers off. Do you think you can ride a goose? No, you can. They will kick your ass, and your balls.
This is what I've been putting up with for 20 years, and I plan to put up with it for 20 more years, but holy shit. Anyway, thank you all for watching. John and Kitty, thank you for being a great co-host once again.
These chips taste funny.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Alright, let's talk about raids. We've got a raid coming up. Both Shinra out. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think technically Diamond Weapon voted him out, but
Oh, snap.
okay, we got a couple options
you know what's
here,
funny was
but
I
I
just
think
looked
I know
down
exactly who I am going to raid. We are going to raid Alpha Riff.
Oh, dear.
So let's do a raid call, which is
How about Facebook ain't shit?
anyway,
That should be your raid call. Facebook ain't shit.
yes.
Dude, if me and June were in the same nursing home, could you imagine June would be trying to like go to like bingo and I'd be following them in my wheelchair just going, bingo, bingo, June.
I hope by that point we at least have cyber bingo or something.
Wait, I'm gonna use the ain't shit emote for this.
Okay. Yes, if you have access to the instant emote, go ahead and use it, because it is worth it. Alright. You all have a great rest of your night. I'm going to hit the raid button as soon as I
made Star do a spit take. I don't even know which thing I said caused it.
Okay, you all know how this works. Stick around for the raid. Alpha Riff is playing Outlast 2, which hopefully is less dumb than the first one. You all have a great rest of your night. I'm going to hit that raid button in 10, 9, 8,
17,
7,
36,
6, 5,
2,
4,
58,
3,
59.
2, 1.
Nice.
666.
You know what I love about